Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to talk about TV Kid. And TV Kid is an extremely underrated roguelike that was created by the YouTuber, streamer, musician, and now game developer Aztrosist. It's a game that manages to combine a clicker game and a roguelike in an amazing package that has so much charm. And before we get into the review, I do just want to let you guys know that I was given a review copy of the game in order to make some videos for you all. I never let that influence my reviews, I just like staying as transparent as possible. So in TV Kid, you play as someone flipping through channels on a TV, and you have to defeat an enemy on every single channel. And you do this by clicking on the enemy to deal damage to them. However, when you deal damage to an enemy, they'll deal some damage back to you depending on what their damage stat is. And so you keep clicking on the enemies until you either kill the enemy or the enemy kills you and ends your run. And at its core, TV Kid is all about stats. As you can see on the left side of the screen, you have so many different stats. You have your health, shields, damage, defense, coins, and your chance to dodge, crit, or get a devil deal. And most of these stats are pretty self-explanatory. And before you click off the video thinking that a game mainly based on stats couldn't be fun, that's where the endless item combinations come in play. So every time you kill an enemy and move on to the next TV channel, you get an item room that offers you one of 3 different items. And these could be basic things like a b-ball bat that gives you +1 damage, or some socks that are like 50% chance to gain +2 defense, or they could be really crazy and rare items like ones that give you some shield every time you kill an enemy, or one that multiplies your damage every time you skip an item room. And also, there are so many different synergies and categories that the items fall in. So as an example, there are 3 basic animal items. There's a cat, a rat, and a dog. So if you pick up, say, as an example, the dog, it makes all future dogs you pick up give 1 extra damage, but all future cats and rats give you 1 less damage. So it kind of makes you pick one animal to go for, and then there's items that remove all of the dogs or cats or rats from the item pool entirely, so you can make sure that you only get offered the ones you want. And there's so many items that interact with each other or do cool things. There's a kunai that gains more damage the more times you pass it up, so if you skip it after seeing it a bunch and then finally pick it up, it'll give you a ton of damage. There's also an item called spikes that multiplies your damage by a lot, but it hurts you for like 25% of your health. But there's an item that you can get before that called boots, where all it does is it says if you pick up the spikes item, you won't lose any health. And this is where the game really shines, because yes, overall the game is just about stats, and clicking on enemies is obviously not the, most thrilling gameplay ever, but the strategy involved with deciding what items and item synergies to go for is really fun. And the game is pretty hard at first. Your first couple of games, you're probably going to die before you even get to the 10th or 15th enemy, but you will slowly learn what items you should go for, and then you can kind of start discovering some insane combos that will help you break the game. Also, every 10 channels you go to a shop that allows you to spend coins you get on items like health potions or items that give you basic stats or multiply your basic stats. And there's also a small chance that you will instead go to a devil deal instead of the shop, depending on your devil deal chance. And these will offer you powerful items in exchange for a lot of your maximum health. And there are some incredible powers you can get from devil deals, like greed that turns your damage stat to always mirror your money stat, or one that gets you, healing every time you kill enemies. And your main objective is to get to channel 50 and defeat the TV Kid. So when you're coming up with your strategy, you not only have to make sure that you can defeat enemies easily, but you also need to make sure that you can sustain a longer fight with the boss. If you win the fight, that's technically the end, but you can play in endless mode to see how far you can get, and that's pretty fun because the game gets hard really fast. So even if you think you've broken the game, it gets hard pretty quickly. Though I do wish there was a leaderboard, or at least a record of your own personal high score for each character in the character selection screen. And the only form of progression in the game currently is to unlock new characters, and you do this by beating the game 10 times on the first character to unlock the second. Then when you get 10 wins with the second character, you unlock the third, and so on. I do wish there was a bit more progression in the game because I'm glad that there's something to work towards, but I really think this game could use some sort of item unlock system. You know, each update the game gets, it adds new items, but they're all just in the game by default. I really think that there should be achievements in the game that unlock new items, and there should be a place to see all of your unlocks and what, you know, kind of progression and progress you have, almost like the checklist page in Binding of Isaac. And the main gameplay loop is mainly just trying to get to channel 50 and beat the boss. Obviously you have the endless mode and trying to get as far as you can there, but you know, this is some kind of like super far in the future thing, but I think it'd be pretty cool if maybe there was different, you know, pathways you could go in or different bosses you could fight or something, just to kind of make it where you're not just kind of doing the same sort of thing every single run. The game also has an incredible amount of charm and personality. The art style is obviously pixel based and it reminds me a lot of Undertale, and I have a huge soft spot for that game, so I really love that about this game. Also, some of the items you get add cosmetics to your game, so like there's this rare body pillow item in the game that gives you a huge damage multiplier, but the meme is that now you have to have a body pillow behind your TV for the rest of the run. And say you get like a ton of cats in the game, you might get a cat that actually sits on your TV. And I really love these attentions to detail, and I absolutely think that more items should do this. The music in the game is also an absolute banger. I do think that there's only 1 or 2 tracks in the game, I think mainly just one, and I think if there were a couple more tracks all in kind of the same style, it would up the quality immensely for me. But either way, I really vibe with like the one main track that it has, so it's not like a super high priority, just something to maybe look into long term. And so overall, if you are someone that loves these synergies and combos you can get in roguelikes, you will absolutely love this game because that is 100% of the focus. It is all about making broken combos with the endless amount of synergies you can get, and I absolutely love it for that. It is in early access and there are constant updates adding new items and things, and I overall just can't wait to see how the game shapes out. And if you want to see even more of the game, I actually have a full Let's Play series playlist on the game that you should definitely check out. Also, if you want to see even more roguelike related reviews and Let's Plays, consider subscribing and ringing that bell like all the big boy YouTubers say to be notified when more videos come out. And if you're going to be grinding out some channels of TV Kid on your own, then I wish you guys luck and see you all next time.